Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. Let's go. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's an amazing day to be alive. And today is the day of opportunity. Every single day is the day of opportunity if we believe in it. God may send us something, a message throughout the day that will change exactly how we feel. You know how many days I woke up, didn't know that was going to be the day? And then later on that day, something huge happened to me, something big. And then when I went to bed that night, I said, wow, I woke up today thinking today was going to be a regular day. And it wasn't. That's happened to me a lot of times. And you know what? Today probably might be that day again. It probably is. Every day is that day, really. Shout out to all of you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on in, sharing your most precious asset with me, and jumping on in. It's so whack that every single time I use Zoom, the next day, it messes up the audio, even though the computer gets turned on and off. I have no idea what's going on. It lasts 6 hours or something, and then the audio goes right back. I have no idea what's going on. It happens every single week after screen share. And it's different computers. I've used 2 different computers. It's happened every time. It's so strange. Somehow it messes up the audio. I may have to just turn off. But how's that now? I brought it down a bit. I don't want to be too hot. You're the sharpest person in crypto. Shout out to Berto. I love you. Amazing screen share last night. Thank you, Lifer Adam. Oh, man. Honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I've had 5 hours of sleep for the last 4 nights. Been able to I just tell myself I'm going to go to bed, but I can't seem to go to bed till 2 in the morning. And then I'm back up at 7 a.m. And today I just feel like I didn't have it in me, I'll be honest. This morning I was just drained. Absolutely drained. You know what I mean? And it feels that way. And also it's rained here for 3 days straight, 4 days straight. We haven't seen the sun. It's just been a blurry day. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody here. Let's jump on into the charts. Thank you for jumping on in. Tomorrow I teach class, the last Saturday of every single month. I teach class. All right, jump on in today. Get in while you still can. Hit the link, hit the QR code. The link's also below here. It says Crypto Consulting and Tutoring. Jump on in today, man. It'll blow your mind. This class is $150. A lot of people are taking what I teach you. I mean, they don't even know what I can teach you. So but if they were to teach a class, they give you a lot of information. They charge you $2 to $3 grand. They make it last 4 to 5 weeks. I'm telling you right now, I could do that and I could make way more money off you, but I decide $150, one shot, get the knowledge, and then I could put you to work. I have things I want you to be doing in the trading group. I have ideas and hopes and dreams and all this other cool stuff. So anyway, jump on into the trading group today if you want to be a part of something amazing. If you want to be with someone that doesn't take a day off. If you believe you're the most, you want to be with consistent people, you're a consistent person, then join today. CryptoLifer.com. This is the place for you. If you're serious about what you do, if you like being around awesome people that push forward, if you like being around people that do what they say they're going to do, jump on into the Crypto Lifer Trading Group today and hang out with me every single day. Learn what consistency and discipline and focus can do for your life. If anything, I'm going to make you more focused and disciplined. I'm going to be on you like a gym coach, man. I'm going to make sure that you push yourself to the limit. All right. Put your email address in here too, and we can give you 2 beautiful newsletters a week. I'd love to do that. Just give us a little bit of value of your time, which is putting this email address in 10, 15 seconds, and we're going to give you so much more of my time and value back immediately. So we're going to outperform in value. I promise you. Just keep showing up every single day. We love you. We appreciate you. So Bitcoin. I'm long on Bitcoin, and I'm going to explain why. When I go to the daily chart is still just getting started, right? I like what I'm seeing here for the daily chart. The daily chart has a bullish, number one, we call the reversal off of the hidden bullish. We'll double click this. What is hidden bullish divergence? It's when the RSI, all right, has a nice downtrend from this point to this point, but the price action has an uptrend. They don't match. It means your next bottom out period will be way higher. You get it. It kind of logically says, hey, when you sell again, your low is going to be way higher than the previous low. That's what it's telling you. And then boom, and then it tells you you're going to break the high above this high to the upside. All right. Again, this looks better if you didn't have the 1 hour stuff, like different time frames. But anyway, so 1 hour looks amazing to me with the low, the high, and the higher low. It's a good sign. All right, we broke out of the falling wedge, that we talked about. We made the other wedge that we talked about here. And so far, so good. Bit of a cup with a handle, too, that's still testing key levels. Could we drop? Yes, if we do lose 69,005, we're going to drop to the 200 SMA here on the 1 hour time frame and possibly test 67.2, which is the weekly support of resistance level that I keep talking about, 67,200. You don't want to break 67.2. You break 67.2, you're likely to go further to the downside. That's weekly support. We don't want to lose that. And we might not go further down, like all the way down, but we may go down and test a key level. So I'm watching this for Bitcoin. It's low volume. Regular markets are closed. We had options expiring last night, which is pretty lackluster. And this has been pretty sideways. I'm expecting just a breakout here and some sideways price action as we coil up and maybe a pump into the weekends. Usually Bitcoin's been pretty much sideways until we get back to Mondays. All right. And good news, too, the Grayscale is out. They're basically more than halfway through their selling. Once they're done selling, there's going to be no sell pressure at all, really. There's no other entity that's going to be selling Bitcoin like it is. And we're just going to continue to move. So very likely that our bags are packed and ready to go, and we're into a 2024 bull run. About 8 or 9 months from now, Bitcoin usually will hit its high somewhere. Everyone's, speculating between $150,000 and $210,000. No one knows exactly where or how. I'm not selling any of my Bitcoin, so that is just a relief. It's just a relief to know that I will not sell any BTC. I don't need to. I'm not thinking about it, and just a beautiful thing. All right. Everybody, I really got to talk about one thing that I love is COINSTATS. COINSTATS is amazing. I just found out about it and started using it, and I find it absolutely amazing. I have my portfolio up right now on COINSTATS, so I don't want you to see everything I got going on because it's a pretty big portfolio. But I really like COINSTATS, all right? And I'm just going to talk about it, why I like it, all right? Number one, you can connect it with your hardware wallet to get in, which is awesome. Number two, they have Kepler, they have Phantom, they have like every wallet that I've ever created, they have access. They have 30,000 plus, 20,000 plus cryptocurrencies, 300 wallets and exchanges, and just all the things that I need to track basically every single crypto. It's amazing. I love it. Hit the link below to get into COINSTATS. You won't get a better price than through me. So jump on it today through COINSTATS. It'll blow your mind. All right? You'll get a lifer discount that you won't get anywhere else. So I appreciate you all for being here, and I love you all for being here. And if I can get known and then use my notoriety to give you discounts, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I do. You go to do it on yourself, they're going to charge you a certain price. I go and sit with them and say, hey, I would like to leverage my community, but you got to give my community a deal. And so I can make sure that you get things at a better price because of who I am. And that's what I'm going to do. I mean, that's what God blessed me with, and I'm going to continue to bless you. So COINSTATS is amazing, and I love it. All right. I just get commissions. They do not sponsor the channel. Shout out to channel sponsors, though. We got I Trust Capital in the bottom right corner there. That's a Roth IRA or IRA. You can basically buy and sell cryptocurrency tax-free inside of that on the short-term basis and then pay the taxes either when you leave or if you sent the taxes in before. It's a beautiful thing. It's a great idea for retirement. It's up to you, though. Get a professional. Look it up. But I Trust Capital is amazing, and we appreciate the sponsorship. They are a channel sponsor. Shout out to Decrypted.tax, which is amazing, too. If you go to Decrypted.tax, and I got my link up there, but you'll get 25% off at Decrypted.tax. So I'm just working to help you get of course I get a little commission and sponsorship, but at the same time, it helps you out. So I want to find the best companies that can provide for you without shilling coins, without giving you nonsense, and giving you awesome educations and things that'll change your mind, blow your mind. So there you have it. So, I'm basically long Bitcoin right now, and I could be wrong. We could easily go to the downside. Let's take a look at our 15-minute. Our 15-minute's getting overbought, not giving us a lot of love, but it's back above the 200 SMA with tight moving averages. But we still have this resistance, 70,800. We just can't seem to break back above it. It's our vein. I got to get back above. And even this level here, that was the pain. 71K really. For me, it's 71.5, but we got to get 70,800 and then 71.5. The good news is we are above the 200 SMA on the 15-minute. As long as we stay above that, I'm bullish. If we break below that and we start to lose this trend line, then this is kind of an M pattern, and we're going to start talking about testing 67,005 and 67.2 and all that fun stuff. But right now, that's just not the case, right? We want to see if this 7-minute can break back above. So I'm long. I did just put out a long to the trading group. I know it's Friday with low volume. I wouldn't be surprised if the long plays out, but it takes all day, So this is what I'm seeing on the 7-minute time frame. We're in a little bit of a bull flag here. This is another idea. You got a point of control that you're above, which is a good sign. You broke through from the bottom of the pattern. You have previous support as resistance with this resistance as support. So you can play an SR flip there, and there's a chance. The idea is you get above this, you're going to likely move. So you're front running the punch above the 200 SMA. The 1 minute also inside of a little symmetrical triangle right here. All right. And that's going to go 50-50. We know these usually break to the downside. I'll tell you that. But we are above the 200 SMA, and we're starting to get some signs of a move here. So the 1 minute just broke out nicely out of this target, this channel here. See, measured move was the base of the pole, and we got the breakout, right? Boom. So now we're looking for the same thing here. This is the base of your next. So you're either breaking up or breaking down out of this. And then that's the bigger, the bigger one that I showed you. But anyway, so yeah, this is interesting. And also, if you look at this, that's your measured move. This hasn't hit the measured move yet. It says it can get all the way up to about 70,900. So let's see what happens. The 1 minute's about to teach us something. It's about to show us whether it's going to dump or pump in the next probably 10 minutes. The 1 minute's so tight, it's going to have to make a decision. The tight moving averages tell me it's going to break to the upside. Above the 200 tell me it's going to break to the upside. Low, high, higher, low. It's in a bullish uptrend. So again, I like what I'm seeing. The bounce off 70,302 is promising, but only time will tell. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going to go. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. I never tell you it's going to do this, it's going to do that. I say this is the probability of what's likely going to happen based off the information that I have and the data that I use. All right, and that's it. Portfolio all-time high around 30K. Started with 5K in the bear. Thank you for everything you have taught us. 333 sold my palm, and I'm getting a bit of FOMO now. God bless you, brother. Hey, it's funny you said that. Bitcoin looking bullish. Shout out to After Hours Investing. I love you, brother. Thank you for all the time. Vera moving. Nice haircut, and I wish you and your family a wonderful Easter weekend. Shout out to John Gagan. Guys, look at base. The actual crypto has 5 zeros. It was up the past 3 months, 3 million in volume. There is no base, man. Base does not have a token yet. I don't know. What? Palm AI at the 618 after a beautiful pump to the upside. We first started talking about Palm AI when it was so low. 30 cents. It was even 8 cents. I mean, this thing is still up massively. And people get into Palm AI. Look at $4,000, $1,000 buy in the last 5 minutes. That's what I love about decentral finance. You can see the buys and the sells coming in 11,000. So people know, hey, this is a good place to be buying Palm AI. They want us. They're in Palm AI and they're in it hard. I'm in Palm AI too as well. Never sold a bag since when I got in at about 30 cents and a little under that too as well. So Palm AI with the $88 million market cap, still one of the low cap gems, baby, that can do damage. Talks about it working with the Google Suite and some cool stuff too. So Palm AI, babe. I'll place my order to join the group now. I've been watching for some weeks now. I placed my order to join the group now. I've been watching for some weeks. Thank you. Jump on in, man. Hey, Liver, can you check out VELODROME when you get a chance? Of course. And I talked about it in my trading group this morning as something that I would be DCAing into. I did, Lifer, not going to do the one-on-one. I hope I can, at some point, be in the elite trading group. Blessings, brother, blessings. I love that you want to become elite. Heart AI getting shilled by the Martini guy. He likes this coin. He's in it pretty hard. He really, really thinks this is going to be do numbers. And, we traded it on and off a year ago, I believe, or maybe 8 months ago, something like that, right? Big time. Yeah, I did live. We're not going to do the one. Yeah, I mean, what about possible double top on Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame? Yeah, I already talked about that and went over it just now. And if that's a double top, we'll lose the 200 SMAs and then we'll go to the downside. I just went over that. Yeah. So either you're coming late or you didn't hear what I said, but I already mentioned the double top and talked about it. Yeah. If you see it, 99% chance I saw it. Every once in a while, I'm going to miss it. But if you see it, there's a 99% chance that I saw it. Right? Yeah. Could you advise me where I should jump in, MEXC or KuCoin? MEXC is just way better, man. Yeah. KuCoin's fees are way higher. Period. MEXC is just a better exchange all around. Better experience, better exchange. Better platform in my opinion. Yeah. Jump into MEXC today, 0.1 spot maker and taker fee. It's applicable in your area. We have people watching from all around the world. All right. Live for Wilder World is pumping because it's got some huge news. Like, they came out with an amazing update and they just let people know like what they're really doing. If you look at Epic Games Store right now, you take a look at what's happening to Wild World. Contains mature content, blah, blah, blah. I get it. You got to put in your... Yeah, hold on. I got to put in my birthday. My B-day, man. My B-day. And God is great. I just want to say God is amazing. Put your faith in God, and next thing you know, your life will spiral into an amazingness. Not spiral out of control, but spiral into an upward trend. Hey, Sam, good morning. Can you look at Kong? Doing good in the meme coin contest on Trader Joe. Thank you, man. Shout out to Hickory Tomato. Hey, Life, I've been spying on MTS. I've observed it as a low cap. Good project. Have a look if you have time. We've traded Metis on and off for years, man. I'll take a look at it. MEXC is just one big long now. I know, right? Every single coin rips. My biggest and favorite gaming bag is Wilder World. Absolutely love everything they're doing. Me too, man. I love Wilder World, and I've been buying it since it was on the low for 2 years now in front of my entire trading group. And I think it's gonna be massive. And so mature cash prizes coming soon. Add to wish list. Wilder World. So the game's going to be coming out. It's going to be amazing. It's a massive multiplayer metaverse that leverages the latest advancements in photorealism, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology. You, as a Wilder, control its future. Pretty interesting, man. And we all get to vote on it and be a part of the ecosystem. And I'm just excited of what's going to happen to Wilder World. So, yeah, I like Wild. It's hot. It did break out. We'll talk about it. I'm putting Heart AI on your radar. You might want to write that coin down. It's hot. It gets a lot of buzz So anyway, I don't own any right now. So if you get into it, you're going to get into it even before I do. Heart AI. It's been out for a while. It already was like 0.6 of a cent. It's done well, but it's consolidated nicely sideways. And usually after an AI coin consolidates like this that has a lot of buzz, it's going to get a pretty big move to the upside. So I'm looking for a move here out of Heart AI, and it actually just did get a pretty big, nice pump. Look, off of this idea, it blasted up. Now either it comes back down to the bottom of the target or it goes sideways and continues. No matter what, for me, this is all a buy zone. Just anywhere in here really is a zone for me. If I get the chance to accumulate, I may change my mind. Right now, I am looking at it, and it's looking somewhat scrumptious. Looks like I'll be able to make 100% in the next 2 weeks if I, keep my head on tight. But you never know. Bitcoin could ruin the show too. You never know. All right. How's your day today? Thank you so much for asking. Nobody seems to ask that. I appreciate you for saying that. How's your day, man? Shout out to Anamovi. We appreciate that. Yeah. Solo send call signal. I don't know what that means. Bro, kindly update about Pepe. Have you looked at MYRO recently? Yes, MYRO, I'm going to turn $1,000 into $10,000. And I want to do it publicly and in front of my live stream. So we talked about it. We got into MYRO at the 618, somewhere at about 24. And we're waiting for the next big pump. Look, kind of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. Bit of a cup with a handle there above the 200 SMA. I look at my daily time frame, and it's ready to rock. After retracing back down to the 618 Fibonacci golden pocket, the green box is the buy zone. I see MYRO about to do a 2x from here. We got into MYRO back at 2 cents. So you'd be holding, at one point, you made a 24x off this coin. MYRO did numbers, man. Did numbers. But we got into MYRO back at 2 cents when it first came out. Unbelievable. Shout out to anyone that jumped into MYRO with me. Bang, bang, bang. Definitely not a short just yet. Hey, just found you. Do you follow D-Race? I found out about D-Race 2 years ago. hot little coin, right? The horse racing coin. Yeah, I know all about it. It's a nice coin. It's interesting. It's just kind of boring to me because I've known about it for a long time, right? So it kind of like, it weighs on you. But, D-Race could be hot. Alex Becker kind of talks about it. He pushes it a little bit. I think there's better out there. I'm more into the new narratives. You know what I mean? Like ZK sinking, moving with just, like AOIZ, D-Pin, real world assets and stuff. But I mean, D-Race could have its time in the sun, go back to 68 cents. It's bouncing off the 786 golden, Fibonacci retracements. That's a really good thing. And now it's in the golden pocket. And it's above the 200 SMA on the daily. I would expect to move out of this. I just, it doesn't really get me going that much, but it looks like you could get 100% gains out of it. Possibly. Yeah, about 96%. That looks likely. But again, there's hundreds of coins that I could do that to. I just want to find the best ones, It's interesting now. That's how spoiled we are. Let's take a look at WIF, baby, in the trading group. And I'll talk about why I liked WIF, what I was going over for WIF, and how I gave you WIF. All right. Let's go to the 2-day chart, or was it the 1 hour? There we go. So I was looking at the 1 hour. We got tight inside the zone. You can even I'm not going to say, I'm not like every single time I'm not perfect. We could readjust that and see how awesome that trend line was. And it said that WIF was likely going to break out. We were talking at WIF at about 296. It boomed all the way to $4. I mean, to make a buck off $3 is a 30% gain. And it did it in like a few days. I talked about this too. I said, look for either buy WIF at the bottom of the pattern, right? But if it breaks out, look for the retest at 350. It just retested 348. You see that? And then it bounced. And it bounced from 348 right back to 372. So had you taken the retest, have you taken the buy zone that I gave you, you'd be in the money. And had you missed the buy zone and gotten into the retest, you'd still be in the money too as well. So I like what I'm seeing for WIF. If you don't believe me, WIF is going to $7 a coin. And it's, it's only a matter of time, in my humble opinion. So if you like money, and again, I could be wrong. I'm not a financial advisor. Like I say, and do should be taken as financial advice. But this could get a bounce and continue further to the upside at 6.92 cents, baby. $6.92, right? But thank you so much for the love. Let's take a look at the super chats and talk about each and every one of you for being here and loving on the live stream. We love you. We appreciate you. Without you guys, there's no stream, right? There's no stream without your God-given time that you've been given. And you only have so much time on this earth, yet you send it to my live stream. That's a blessing. That means I'm getting like God made all these people, created your lives, then gave you only so much limited time on this earth, and you give me some of your time. I find that so I cherish your time more than anything else. I don't want to abuse it. I never want you to think that I'm wasting it. Coughing is a waste of your time. I got more energy and more things I can teach you. Let's take a look at Kong from Hickory Tomato. He's asking about a lot, something there. So you know what I'm doing for Bitcoin. I've gone over kind of the weekly, the daily, everything that I'm looking at. Today, you're going to get your top-down, macro analysis as well, where I do the weekly. I'm going to go over Bitcoin dominance. So I'm not going to look at DXY and all that stuff because you're going to get that today in about a couple hours after the live stream. I'm going to bang that video out and get it done for you. And I'm going to give you a macro top-down analysis that I do every single Friday. So you can see a big picture of what's happening in the market and not get overwhelmed by the day-to-day. All right. Thank you for jumping on in. If you want to join the trading group, if you just came into the live, jump on into the pinned comment up here and hit CryptoLifer.com. If you want to trade where you trade, hit MEXC.com. I Trust Capital, and get into my newsletter. One thing I want to show you, if you jump on in here, jump into our newsletter. It'll blow your mind. You'll get prompted after your second kind of scroll up at CryptoLifer.com. CryptoLifer.com. So look, I mean, these mainly break to the downside, like I told you. And you can see there, it fell out, kind of bearishly retested. Looks like it wants to continue. If I try to include this back in the pattern, and look, hold up. Look at this. Look at this. I know you see it, right? Shoulder, head, right shoulder. That's just likely to break to the downside. 68% chance this is going to dump. All right. We're in chop. This is chop, low volume. I would suggest most people take the day off from trading, and I normally wouldn't say that, right? Back to lifer. You know what I mean? But today's a good day. It's Easter weekend, man. People are going to be really hanging out. And honestly, when there's no one to buy, there could be grayscale to sell off, right? So if you think about it, it would make sense that we would get more sideways or somewhat of a downward trend. Just kind of what we're seeing, Again, I'm still long. You're like, but you're long, lifer. I am, as long as we stay above the 200 SMA on these time frames. But once we lose them and the 1 hour collapses, I'll change my tune. All right. Right there, just wanted to kind of point out that is a head and shoulder on the 1 minute time frame. We will likely dump to this yellow line. Very, very likely. All right. No guarantees, but the odds are now in our favor that we are going to head down to that line. It just is what it is. All right. Shout out to the 1,279 people here on the live, 363 likes, $21 in chat revenue. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. And you can see viewership is down. All right. People are up all night watching basketball. Viewership is down. A lot of people are traveling with their families today. Right. And so Google knows that. YouTube knows that. And so even my stream, look, my stream's down like about 800 people. So you can see that there's definitely a change in the guard for the day. All right. All right. I talked about this little coin, Hyper GPT. I put it out to the trading group. I said, looks like it's going to make some numbers to the upside. It came up, retested, and continued to pump. Never hit the stop below the pattern. Gains on gains. 25% gains if you were in the trading group. I'm telling you right now. And again, just come here every day and get the education that I teach you, and it'll blow your mind, right? But right here, you can see updates still coming on the radar, right? And look, and that was meant for Bitcoin, right? As I posted this at 11:30 on the 27th. So 2 days ago, I could see this was likely going to hit the target. I didn't know exactly how, but the chart was suggesting I was going to see a move to the upside for 25%. There's your before. There's your after. There's your before. There's your after. I do this all the time, many, many times a day, many times a week. We consistently show you how to find gains in cryptocurrency. I have it mapped out. It's what I do. I do it without even knowing it. My subconscious mind is locked in. Look at this shoulder, head, right shoulder. You go to the 15-minute, you'll see that inverted head and shoulder idea. Falling wedge above the 200, getting the break to the upside, right? Very interesting. This looks like it may continue, honestly. So I would be looking for this flag here. And if this flag continues, that's another scalp that I see continuing. So I can see the chart. I see the trade before it happens. I map it out, I plan it out, and then I wait for price action to fall into that. Once price action does that, I take advantage of the move. All right, I wait for the 21 to come into price action while the stochastics reset. A lot of times I'll even put alerts here on the stochastics RSI. I've never seen anyone do it. I do it. All right, I do things you've never seen anybody do because I do my own thing. I'm unique. I don't listen to everybody else. I don't do everything else. I don't use the EMAs. I don't use the indicators everybody uses. I don't jump on bandwagons. I make my own. I forged my own path, man. My dad was an iron worker. He went his own way. So I was only taught to go my own way. I don't know anything else. I only know how to go my own way, forge my own path, push myself. And that's why when I was working for other people, I felt so depressed because I was like, I'm not forging my own path. I'm not creating my destiny. I created my job. Today, I'm at a job that I created out of thin air. One day, I created a logo and said, I like this cool idea, Crypto Lifer. I'm going to do a video. And then another video. And then another video. And I was already passionate about technical analysis. I already been trading the stock market. But I took it to just another level. That's an inverted head and shoulder there that definitely broke to the upside. Beautiful as beautiful does. So I could see this thing continuing for another 27% gain. And again, this will look exactly like the one I just put out. Now, there's no guarantees that I'll hit, but I do hit a lot. So the odds are that I will hit, but you never know. So I'm looking at HGPT. Anything with the GPT in it, right? It's got that hyperness, got that AI component, and got that idea behind it, right? A little overbought on the RSI, all right? 15-minute may dump you down to the 21. It may be more of a steeper move here. I don't know exactly how it will play out. Definitely something I would put on my radar, though, and have this alert down. And when the alert hits, I'll take a look at it. Doesn't mean I'm going to trade it for sure. But I set an alert on the lower stochastic region, and we'll see what happens. All right, we'll see where that goes. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? Really important we get the likes all the way up to the watchers today. Very, very big day. All right. No days off, baby. No days off. All right. Okay. I got another coin that I'm nice enough to give you right now, but I put it to the trading group. But I'm going to give it to you because I'm in a good mood. I don't own any of this coin, so I'm not even shilling. Doesn't really matter to me. But I like this coin. Looked like it was going to do a bit of a breakout. I talked about it last night at about 42 cents. It went up to 48. So already up a nice 6 cents on that move. Huge, about 8%, almost 12%, right? I see this doing numbers, getting to 7 5/10%. And that would be a pretty nice gain from where we're at. And look, that would be 77% gain from the original entry, about 51 from here. I'm watching this closely. Rejuve AI, RJV. All right. Rejuve AI. Definitely on the radar in the trading group. Something to think about, something to talk about. All right. So bitty Bitcoin. It's all about this smaller time frame. Can we fight off the head and shoulder pattern on the 1 minute? Can we maintain maybe a falling wedge here? Can we flag out and continue to the upside? Again, today's a day where a lot of patterns wouldn't play out. Like, I wouldn't be surprised the head and shoulder just went up and down. Lackluster volume, you won't get the follow through. You won't get as much emotions. There's not the people here to make the emotions run. You understand? All right. That's why not every day is the best day to trade. I was told my students earlier today too. Good time. You know, this is a good weekend. Like one of my big time teachers and traders in my group, he's taking the next 4 days off. And he's not, you know, he's saying, I'm taking 4 days off, rest my mind, get myself situated for my next ideas. You know what I mean? I think that's a great idea. I told him I wish I could do it. I said, I got to get it while the getting's hot, right? I'm popular. I'm getting the money. You know, the algorithm's pumping right now. I got to keep going, right? Every day off to me is a detrimental day. I take a day off. You know how much? I can't even talk about it. But if I take a day off, it's just a huge hit. So there's no reason to take a day off at this point. You know what I mean? If you're a businessman and you like it and you like just success, you wouldn't take a day off either if you were me. You would continue to grind. I'm telling you right now. You'd be in the pocket. You'd be in the limelight. You wouldn't stop. You would keep getting it in. So, and especially if you worked as hard as I did for everything and you lived, I worked a night shift for years of my life, everyone. You know, I didn't always have it as good as I have it now. It wasn't always blessed. I struggled. I rode my bike to work in the rain all the time. I wore the same pants for 7 days from Costco's. I just started stacking Bitcoin, and I realized that if I picked an investment and I kept getting into it on the low over time, and I saved my money by putting it in something that wasn't the dollar, I was going to be in a good place. You know, a great place actually, right? So I figured out that the Federal Reserve was not private about in 2009. I told my mother and father, they thought I was insane, and they told me I was crazy and that I should go back to work and stop being basically a psycho online. And my dad even thought I was a little out there. I was always out there though, so my parents didn't know what to say. They're like, well, he's a little smarter than the average bear. He does things differently, but they couldn't understand. And as they got older, you know, it was harder for them to understand me. It was really interesting. And I would keep coming back. And so look, the fiat currency graveyard. You know, the average lifespan of fiat currency is about 35 years. It doesn't even last that long. Throughout the past 1,000 years, they've collapsed due to corrupt and incompetent monetary policy making. Hyperinflation is one of the most common precursors. And it's not even the policy making. It's there's a bank that gets them to lock in. Basically, what the bank does, central banks, is they send their minions into the government. Undisposed, people don't even know. The guy will run on something else, but he's basically a spy for the central bank. Alexander Hamilton, we put him on the dollar bill. He was really working for the banks. And they basically wanted to say, hey, you know, push these laws. You know, make sure there's a first American bank in America. They did all these weird things. You know what I mean? And then, look, you have a 5 million Zaire dollar. You have $10,000 ruble, a $10 million Pango, $1 billion mark, a $10 trillion Zimbabwe dollar because they've printed money to zero in every single country over and over again. 100 years from now, the U.S. dollar is going to be on this list. It's going to have a 100,000 U.S. dollar bill because there's going to be no other choice, all right? This is why Bitcoin is the answer. The second you opt out of the dollar, you opt into Bitcoin. I tell everybody right now, I'm not a financial advisor, but get off zero. If you don't own any Bitcoin right now, you're at zero. And being at zero is not a good look, in my humble opinion. It's time to get off zero. So do whatever makes you happy. I can't force you to do anything, but I'm telling you right now, I can show you history, and you can either do the math or not do the math, and you can see that our government is doing exactly what all these governments did. It's a debt-based system since 1863. So any talk about changing the monetary system is hogwash. Until we relieve the system of the Federal Reserve, we are going to be in a debt-based system. I hope you understand this. I got into Bitcoin to save my wealth, not to be on some new digital train. I knew that Bitcoin was going to save me from the fiat currency graveyard. I don't want to die in the fiat currency graveyard. I want my legacy to live. I want my children's children to have the money that I made today. All right, that's not going to happen if I put it in the dollar. If I take all my savings right now and leave it in the dollar and give it to my kids 10 years from now, 50 years from now, it's going to be depleted. But if I put it into Bitcoin right now and I give it to my kids 50 years from now, they're probably going to have something for themselves. And again, even if I do it, I have to at least make a change. I have to at least take a shot. I may not be right. Who knows? Maybe Bitcoin is going to trap us in the blockchain, right? I'm open-minded that I don't know it all. But what I am is I got to take what's in front of me right now. Right now, I know that if I stay in the dollar, I am done generationally. I'm destroying my kids' future. I'm not caring about them at all. If I don't buy Bitcoin and secure Bitcoin for my daughters, I am not a good father, period. That's how I feel. You do whatever makes you happy. But I've done the math. I've looked at history. God has given me the information. If I choose not to use it, it's on me. It's on me at that point. In 2008, 2009, I saw the housing crisis. I saw Peter Schiff. I started buying gold and silver. I amassed 40 grand worth of gold and silver. I then realized if I had to run away with it, do something with it, or I had to put it in a vault where someone else watched it. And then I came to the fact that gold and silver was not a great investment because I had to hold it myself. I had to put it in a vault where someone else told me they had it, and I never even knew if they had it. And it was like an imaginary feeling of security. It didn't make me feel secure. Memorizing a seed phrase and being able to store over millions of dollars in my mind that nobody knows about but me made it amazing. You know? I'm just saying, like, you memorize your seed phrase and you can go anywhere in the world with millions of dollars in your brain. You could throw your treasure in the trash. You could get searched. They could body search you. Unless they can go into your brain, they can't find the gain. So you can't take gold and silver across borders. It's not borderless. Bitcoin is borderless. I'm telling you right now, Bitcoin is far superior to gold, and I was a gold bug for 10 years. I traded gold and silver every single day. All I did was look at the price of gold every single day, my friends. Every day. Shout out to the 1,333 people here. The 333, the power of the 333, the power of the 777s. I'm telling you right now, we are a powerful group of people because we care about each other. Love is the strongest frequency in the game. You cannot be denied when you live in love. Do you hear me? You cannot be denied when you live in love. Let me say it again. When you live in love, you cannot be denied. Live in love every single day. Make sure love is the number one frequency in which you're using. We make mistakes. We're not perfect. We're human. But if you live in love every single day, you're going to propel yourself to greatness. You're going to be following your passion. You're not going to live in fear. You can't be in fear when you're living in gratitude. Fear is the reason for a lot of the world's pains. Why does one country take over another? Because they're afraid that country is going to take over them, right? They're afraid. Aggression. Why does someone cheat on their significant other? They're afraid someone's going to cheat on them. Why does people don't get committed? Because they're afraid someone's not going to commit. Fear creates issues in life. All right? A lot of people attack other people. Why? Out of fear. Okay? Look what's happening right now. They're going after certain people. Why? Because they're afraid of them. You can see it. When someone gets all huff and puffed about something, if you're not afraid of someone, you don't even pay attention to them. You don't even notice them. They don't even exist to you. You get it? Once someone starts spending a lot of attention and time and money on somebody, it means they're afraid of them. All right? This is just a fact. All right? I need a max win. 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 I need the max win. I just think it's funny. Sorry. I need a max win. I don't know how that thing didn't blow. I didn't buy it yet, but I feel like that's got to blow. I heard, I watched Drake say it the other day. He goes, I need a max win, and he shows this hat. Right? And so Drake said something about this coin like 3 weeks ago. He was like, I need a max win, and he put this hat out. Did anyone see that? Did anyone see that? Everything you do. Exactly. I've learned that. Like every single action you've ever been connected to is out of fear or love. Every time. So if you choose love, you won't be making the wrong decision. Everything you do wrong, my lady with hat now. It just, when does it end? You know, how many with hats? When does it actually end? Right? Popular tokens on Solana chain, right? It just goes on and on. Momo. Book a meme. Down 82% over here. I still hold Book a meme. Punk AI got flattened. Maybe it comes back one day, but it got flattened. I threw it on the beginning, and that was one coin that hit me. AERO and Velo taking a break. Great time to get in. That's what I kept saying. DCAing into those coins. Tell me Solana isn't forming the most putrid bull flag to 260 you can. Oh, yeah. I mean, so Anita Max win. I like this coin. I don't know why. I just think it's funny. That's it. I think it's hilarious. I need a max win. Like, that's funny to me. All right, and it gets me. It might get you too. I don't know. I'm trying to find the real coin though. Liquidity is very small. Not a lot of volume. So maybe he put it out here when it ripped. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it actually looks like a rug pull down in the dumps. Maybe it comes back to life. I don't know. I don't own any of this coin at all. I want to make it clear. I just thought the name was funny. I promise you I don't own any of the coin on my life. I never bought it. So we talked about this head and shoulder breaking to the downside. And we saw it happening. This kind of head and shoulder, and then this head and shoulder, and then there we go. And then this was a shoulder head and a right shoulder. You see it? And then we dumped where? To the 200, just like I said we would. And now we're getting caught by the 200 SMA. We lose that, we're likely going to go lower for Bitcoin. So, today's not a day you're going to see me live trade. I don't live trade like lackluster, low volume, like pre-Easter days. They're not fun. They're not the funnest days to trade. I'm just telling you. I came to Boston to see you. Haha, all the way from Seattle. I'm actually stuck here before Aruba. Cheers to you and all the lifers. Sammy, I came to Boston to see you all the way from Seattle. Are you in Boston right now? I'll take you to lunch. You going to be here for all day? If you're really going to be in Boston, I'll literally stop my whole day. I'll square away 2 hours and I'll come take you to lunch, man. Are you around? What's going on? Are you just in the airport waiting? Hey, Lifer, what's good with trading class tomorrow? Can I pay with crypto? Yes. Email cryptolifers@gmail right now. Email cryptolifers@gmail. Sean, you should make, guys, my whole team should help me produce this better. Babe, sit with the team and help me advertise this better. All right. Hey, Lifer, what's good with the trading class? Yeah, I'm in Montreal. Take the jet and come for brunch. Amen. I ain't got the jet yet, but yet is a big deal because I will have a jet. I just saw Drake and J. Cole in concert last week. It was great. Lifer, what's good with the trading class tomorrow? Okay, yeah. For real, Lifer team, step up. Better, you're funny. Thanks for trading session last night. Much appreciated. Wow, Michael Scott is in here. Is Michael Scott your buddy? It's not the Michael Scott you know, I don't think. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, I talked about HDR last night. It's on KuCoin. I just kind of looked at it like this. It's consolidating. Looks like it may get ready for a next big leg up to the upside. May take its time. We don't know exactly how it's going to do it. But it's getting closer for a possible move, for sure. Could go all the way to 29, possibly. All right. But yeah, it's on our radar. I believe I gave the KuCoin chart last night inside of... Yeah, there we go. I see it going up 127% gain from where we first put it out. It's already up a little bit. It's already up 30% from when I first put it out at 13. All right. MYRO, any thoughts about it? We already talked about MYRO, and I went over it. I like MYRO. It's the first coin on our $1,000 to $10,000 challenge. MYRO, baby, MYRO. FLOKI looks interesting to me too. It's just consolidating. Looks like it's getting ready for its next big, huge move to the upside. I like what I'm seeing for FLOKI. That looks like a swift gain of 169%. Again, if Bitcoin tanks, this will tank. But if Bitcoin goes sideways or at least, plays by the rules, we should be okay here for MYRO. All right. So just one thing to think about. One thing on your radar. MYRO, baby. FLOKI. Sorry, FLOKI. You can tell I'm tired. See, I'm off today. Bitcoin sideways. Still here. Wishing I had your knowledge. Paying close attention. No worries, man. Just keep coming back every single day and you will get the knowledge. I appreciate that. I'm flattered that you want the knowledge because you know what to go after. Bitcoin 70,200. Slip into the downside. It lost the 200. The second we lose the 200 in the 1 minute, Bear City, we usually get a nasty drop. A lot of times that would be the moment to open up a short. Would have stopped right here. On a lackluster day with lack of volume, I tell us just to kind of take a chill pill with it And we're at the bottom of the channel here. We're fighting. We don't want to break. We break this trend line, we're coming down to test this level. And like I told you, then we're coming to test 67,200, 67.5, and then, you know, I don't want to see us test the weekly support ever again, but you never know. But we'll take it one step at a time right now. No live trading, everyone. Take it easy. It's a Friday while people are traveling on Easter Sunday in America. So just take it one step at a time. And I'll be like, oh, I'm all in today. I wouldn't be surprised if we go up and down here too, and we don't get the follow through short. We don't get the follow through long. All right. Do not spam the chat. If you spam the chat, we will delete you immediately, and you won't be able to hear about your coin. If you politely asked about your coin one time, you probably would have got it answered. So you just basically you ruined your chance to talk about a coin by spamming the chat. FLOKI looks absolutely beautiful to me. It looks that's just a beautiful setup. All right, like it just looks really, really consolidatively nice. And again, it could dump on us. You never know, but that looks beautiful to me. Let's take a look at MANTA on MEXC. I like MANTA long term. It's in a really strange pattern. I'll delete it again to see if I see anything different, but really not, you know, kind of a cup and handle. There's a previous support is resistance. It's in a bit of a flag here on the 12-hour. I wouldn't be surprised if MANTA breaks out. I see MANTA doing like a Celestia in the next 6-7 months, becoming a really big ecosystem and growing at a substantial level. I could be wrong, but from what I've looked at, and I looked at the kind of how it's built and what it's doing and how it services the industry, it looks a lot like it can do what Celestia did. But, you know, only time will tell. But I like it. I'm in MANTA personally. I have a bag. I've been building the bag on these dip lows. $4 looks like it could definitely come. And once you break $4, I mean, so you're not even that far away from the all-time high when you really think about this coin. And it's really just been consolidating for a while. Thank you so much, Minsky, for MANTA. Can you take a look at XRPH, XRP Healthcare, please, Lifer? XRPH, never heard about it. So there's a brand new coin on the live stream, everybody. Brand new coin. XRP Healthcare. And again, I bet it has nothing to do with XRP, everybody. So don't like, you know what I mean? They just brand this stuff. That's the one thing about crypto. Like, people steal brands like all day long. You know what's interesting? It's in the shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. Complex head and shoulder. This thing looks hot to me. I think you've been watching my channel or you get into education. You must be a lifer. It's starting to show what I look for, right? You look at your 12-hour. The only thing I'm saying is the 1 hour is a little overbought. It would have to get really pushed hard right now. But this looks interesting. 3-hour chart's about to get litty. So, and let's see, I believe we can get a little more out of that. We can get some more juice out of that. I can see this going up 7-2. Remember, we also have Jerome Powell speaking today, and that's going to throw off the market too. So everyone's sitting there watching Jerome, all right? I believe he speaks at 11:30, right? Let me see. And I got CPI for you too as well. Yeah, he's going to be live at 11:15 a.m. today. I don't know if the Federal Reserve is going to put it out today because they don't always do it. No, they usually just do the minutes. Yeah, but I'll get it for you, and we'll see, you know, what the market's doing while he's talking, because there's definitely going to be some volatility today. All right. He's scheduled for 11:15, so in about 10 minutes he's going to speak. And look, there's the dump to 69,000. Bitcoin getting a massive dump down. Heavy volatility. And you lost the 200 on the 1 minute. That told us to short the market immediately, right? So I didn't open up a short immediately. I just don't feel like trading today. I'm sorry. You know, it happens. You watch me thousands of days a year. Today, I just don't feel like running into the short immediately. But look, it would have paid me nicely, though. There's my signal. That's my signal. I use it to short. I use it to long. It's such an easy way to trade. I don't even like using the word easy, but it's the simplest way to trade I've ever seen. You close a candle below the 200. You open up a short with a stop on the other side. You get paid. All right. So they just flushed us to the downside nicely for Bitcoin. Beautiful day, right? Awesome. Awesome times. And again, I expect this on low liquidity weekends or holidays. They do this. They dump. I can't tell you how many times they dump the price on me on holidays, on Christmas, on Thanksgiving, when no one's at their computer. They trying to, Grayscale is going to continue to force that sell pressure. And they're going to force Bitcoin down. All right. There's enough people, though, that want to get in. We want to hold this trend line. Really need to hold this trend line. Let me get rid of all these insane lines. Sorry. All I need is this resistance and that support on the POC, really. Right here. That's all I need. We get rid of this falling wedge for now because it already happened, but we got that breakout, right? We called that. So it's not all bad here as long as we can hold, as long as we don't go lower than 69,000, let's say 350, 500, we're okay. Second we break that, we're going to bounce back down to 68.5 and then further down. Okay? And we were able to see what was going to happen based on the 1 minute chart. If you watch my stream every single day and you're loyal to me, you're going to know that that's a short signal for me. You're going to know that's a long signal for me. Okay? Already a beautiful long today. If you open up, once we get above there, beautiful long. So even on a lackluster day, there was 2 beautiful trades to made. We could have longed and shorted the market. Look at them rip it right back to the upside here for Bitcoin. That's actually a good dip buy. I'd be buying some Bitcoin on that dip right there. Let's take a look at CPE for you and take a look at the personal income and outlays of February of 2024. It came out today. So personal, right? So October was 0.02 personal income. February 0.03. All right, percentage change from the preceding month. So that's, personal consumption expenditure, the PCE in current dollars. And so we're spending a little more, which is, I think somewhat of a good sign. PCE excluding food and energy, 0.3. So the increase in current dollar personal income in February primarily reflected increases in compensation and personal current transfer receipts that were partly offset by decrease in personal income receipts on assets. The $15 billion in increase in current dollar PCE in February reflected an increase of $118 billion in spending services and $33 billion in increased spending for goods. All right. The sum of PCA personal interest payments and personal current transfer payments increased $1.9 billion in February too. Personal savings was $740 billion in February, and the personal savings rate, personal savings and percentage of disposable income was 3.6%. Prices from the preceding month, the PC price index increased 0.3%. Prices for goods increased 0.5%. And prices for services increased 0.3%. Food prices increased 0.1%, and average energy prices increased 2.3%. Energy up 2.3%. It's a big deal. So you can see inflation is continuing to rise. Things are continuing to go up in value. They're going to continue to print money. That's just what you're going to see happen over time. All right? Yeah. That's just something that you're going to see. So interesting. XRP Health looks like it's going to pump to the upside. It is on MEXC. I know nothing about this project. I've never heard about it. I don't know anything about it. But it's in an inverted head and shoulder. It's pushing to the upside. It's got some hidden bullish divergence here. As that swings up, that swings down, tells me the trend will continue to the upside. Hidden bullish is really, really strong. And I like this. So again, I started looking at this thing thinking it was a clown, like XRP Health. I kind of, in my mind, I didn't even say it out loud, but I was like, what is this? But the TA now has told me that it's likely going to break to the upside. I put it on the radar for you guys during the live. All right. Shout out to all the fan funding. Let's call you guys out, every one of you. That's super nice. Chris Goss, literally value your opinion more than my economics professor. USD is distributed globally. Could this prevent it from going to zero? It could, because they're increasing how many people use it. It may not go to zero, but it's definitely going to lose value over time. You can't keep printing money in a debt-based society. It's based on debt. Every time we pay the debt off, we need to print more money. When the money gets devalued, you have to print more money to pay the debt. You get it? You owe $10 million. The dollar's worth $10 million. Pay the debt. But now the dollar's not worth 1-to-1 $10 million anymore. Now $10 million where the dollar's only worth $8 million. Now you got to print more money to pay what was a $10 million debt. You get it? Like, even though a debt is pegged in dollars, so it's the same amount, at the end of the day, what was the debt created for? And what was the value of that asset behind that? And so there's hidden inflation every single time you continue to print money. It's just a fact, everybody. So even though they're going to make the dollar maybe more popular around the world, even more people will use it, they're going to print it to zero, my friends. Turbo, please hope all is well. Have a great day. Thank you, Bryson Gonzalez. We love you. We appreciate you. Shout out to Minsky for the MANTA idea. Shout out to Jason Richardson for asking about XRP Health and giving us an actual call that may play out. You're a genius. Shout out to Yubi Cake. Can you check out MDI? New project that just came out last week. Celebrate the first super chat on a live. I'm telling you, man, I watch a lot of live streams. I don't see first super chat. YouTube, man, I bring in a lot of people to bring their first super chat in. You guys should give me a first super chat plaque or something, because I've converted so many people to super chat lovers, and they say, hey, I've never given a super chat, but I give you one. Master Friend, Christ is King, happy Easter weekend, friend. Shout out to my man, Master Friend. We love you. We appreciate you. And thank you for putting God first, man. It's a main reason why I brought you into the fold, that you put God first. May God bless you and your family. And my wife brought up the pillow again last night. She said the nicest present I've gotten in a long time was the long pillow. You really, really were thoughtful. Your wife probably thought of that. I don't know what happened. I'm kind of thinking that wasn't a Master Friend idea, but maybe it was, bro. So she's super thankful and super happy, and she just wants you guys to know, like, you really helped her a lot. So thank you so much for the pillow, everybody. Master Friend sent me a great little pack. We appreciate that. All right. Shout out to Jeff Strain. Bearish div on market cipher B. 1, 2, 3, 4 hour. Thanks for all you do. Yeah, we do see bearish divergence on the 4-hour time frame. Went over that last night for Bitcoin. All right. 70,180. Back up again, though, after a look, just buy pressure dip there. Like a dip that they got right back in there. Funny, Raven coin, an oldie but goodie, back up there. Raven. Funny, it just made this flag right here, and then it was gone out the flag to the upside. I used to trade this a lot. I got into this coin, Monstera. I didn't no idea what it was. I just threw like $200 in it. And now it's like more than $200. It's pretty weird. It seems like you can't go wrong with anything in this market. It's weird. I try sometimes if you hold it for 5 months, it looks like it seems to pay. There's our hard AI idea. Wild. So I talked about Wild breaking out. I went over it. I see it. And then it got the news. I put it in this, and it was tight with the moving averages. I see Wild going to 165. Next thing you know, Wild pumped. So if you're in my trading group, you're already up maybe 40, 30% on Wild. And you saw me buying Wild for months on end. I was purchasing Wild all the time. Just buying it. It did nothing for so long. When the whole market ripped, Wild went up and then dumped again. It tends to like to pump and then give it back a little bit, like at this time when it went to $1 and it went all the way back to 44 cents, which was just March 9th. Every time it seemed to came up, it gave it back. But now Wild seems to be on the tear. People are starting to hear about it. They understand. And Wild is moving. So that's a win. If you took Wild, that was posted to the trading group, you'd be in the gains right now for Wild, right? Blessings to be alive with Wild. I love this coin. I just think it's going to be a premier gaming coin. I'm speculating on that idea, and that's what I think. See, that's what I do think when I speculate. What I think about a coin, what could happen is that's. So you asked about MTS, which is Metis Plus, but I think you're asking about Metis. But I could be wrong, right? No, it looks like you did ask about MTS, Meta Plus token. It's been on a tear. To me, it's in a bull flag, technically. See if it can break back inside the bull flag and continue. I'm probably not going to touch this, but again, maybe it's the hottest coin since sliced bread. Who knows? Remember WMT, World Mobile Token? It's on my radar, man. Might be hotter than I realized, honestly. And I'm looking for this thing to kind of do some damage. I see 62% gains coming as it's holding this key level. And again, I don't own any of this. I don't know the team. When I talk about a coin, I'm not sliding in some promotion. I don't do that. I just look, I'm ADHD. I'm all over the place. Next coin, right? Whatever's in my head, whatever's in my mind. And my mind is scanning right now. My subconscious mind is scanning through my history of coins. And sometimes when I'm in a really good mood and I really want to help you, that's attached to my good nature. And that coin comes right out of my head. Just to show you, just to help you. I'd love to, if you all join the trading group, but you know what? I'd rather you make some money for free, sit with me every day in the live, get comfortable with me, realize that I'm the real deal, and then join the trading group. You don't need to spend money until you realize that I can show you the way. I want to prove to you that I can make you gains on the live stream. I want to prove to you I can educate you enough that you can take that education to the next level. All right? Hey, Sam, you and Master Friend are amazing. Thanks for all the hard work. Learned a lot already, and keep on learning. Coonmans, we love you. We appreciate you, brother. Look, another first super chat. I just love that. Any thoughts on Zeta Chain? I own Zeta Chain. I think it's going to be huge. I like when something's cross-chain and can connect multiple chains. To me, that's huge. It's like an oracle. It's like back-end ideas. It excites me. I like it. And it's definitely something to keep on the radar. All right? Zeta Chain. I like Zeta Chain a lot. All right? The chart's not the greatest. It's been going sideways in like a very strong, like weird elongated channel for a long time. But again, I'm not looking at the technicals as much, which but I'm just looking at the overall idea of that project. And I got my bags packed for it, and I'm gonna see where it goes. Once Bitcoin crosses 100,000, I think a lot of these coins are gonna go to some other new levels that we never thought possible. And we're gonna see a big move in fruition. Remember, this did not lose the trend. There's nothing. This is still intact. That's still a low. That's still a higher low, and nothing has changed. I'm still long on Bitcoin, right? We'd have to break 68,005 for me to really start. That would end this pattern idea. Still technically a shoulder ahead and kind of a funky elongated right shoulder there. All right. I really like WIF right here. Let's take a look if WIF gives us a signal on the 15-minute time frame for a possible move. To me, this is somewhat of a flag. It's not amazing, I guess you got this. You could say we're in this now. Bit of a symmetrical triangle in a way for WIF, right? The key is once it breaks this top trend line, it's got this leg. So that's your next temporary move to 480. I see 693 coming for WIF, all right? That's my next target is 693. That's my skill too, is being able to see like the month-long target. Where we're going to be in a month or two from now. I can see that. And I've been able to do it many, many times in my life. I could backtest it and show it to you, but it's all documented. I was calling Solana like 2-3 years ago, the entire rally, showing you where it was going to go. Who cares, man? I'm sick of talking about myself. You guys can learn it all. But it's all true. Convincing people of my history sounds like I'm talking about myself, so I guess I'm just like, whatever. But, how else do I tell you what happened? How else do I show you what we've done, right? But you know what? Other people talk for me. I like CHRP. I put it out when it was sitting here beautifully around like 2 cents, and it made a nice move. And now what it's doing is it's doing a bullish retest. That's a retest. When something tries to hit the previous resistance and makes a flag, again, if Bitcoin dumps, maybe it'll fall through, but I could see this continuing to the target. And that's actually a pretty penny right there. That would be 61% gain. So watch CHRP for a continuation. It's up from when I first put it out. Technically, the first trade is still on. You're still in the first trade. So CHRP looks interesting to me. And I see a 61% gains coming out of CHRP. Look at the 12-hour. The thing is about to blast. You do you, I'll do me. My technical analysis tells me this coin is about to make a move. But again, what do I know, right? I'm just a guy that does this every single day and puts in like thousands of hours and has dedicated his entire life to technical analysis and nothing else. But, whatever. It's probably nothing. Probably not worth thinking about. Doge ripping. And I gave you Doge in my trading group. And it now has hit the target. I talked to Doge hitting 21. It did that. I showed you the inverted head and shoulder before it happened. I gave this away to my trading group. I could see it. Shoulder, head, and shoulder. Gave the entry and the stop loss. This thing was gone. We got in right there. It never stopped out. Never went lower than the neckline of that. And then continued to the upside. I see the bigger move for Doge getting all the way to 25 cents. How did I figure all that out? I saw the inverted head and shoulder. See, everyone else just sees scribblings. I saw how it was going to happen. I could see it. Like Rain Man, baby. So now we got this falling wedge flag here on the 4-hour, and it looks like it's continuing. I wouldn't be surprised if Doge takes a huge move even today and into tomorrow. Look for this 1 hour to continue for Doge. My next target for Doge is 26 cents at 0.8 cents. That's where I see Doge going. That's where Doge is likely headed. You do you. But again, I'm seeing that as a likely move for Dogecoin. 26 and 0.8 cents. What if Doge goes to $2 one day? The Dogecoin millionaires. Back at it again, right? Bang, bang, bang. Doge, Doge, Doge. So I do see Doge about to break out. Look at the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Both look good. Bitcoin wants to break 70K again. So I teach you about fiat currency. I teach you about the history of money. I show you that they're going to keep printing your money to zero. So why would you want to be based anything that's based in dollars? For me, never. Never, 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 never. I'm not, that's their, again, I've always learned not to play someone else's game. That's their game, right? Like, I'll play my game. You know what I mean? Like, don't play someone else's game. Like, they set that game up for you to lose, right? If you don't know who the mark is, then you're the mark, right? So, like, with the U.S. dollar, with the Federal Reserve, like, we're all the mark. They created it. Like, so we're the one using their system. Like, they got us locked in. It's done. Like, and again, if you're highly critical of the reality and you're a progressive person that tells yourself the facts, you got to know when you're not in control and deal with that and then find a way to gain control, right? That's the only way. So you got to tell yourself that I didn't make the Federal Reserve. These boys made the monetary system. They run my life. Like, until I can get myself away from their system, I play by their rules and they run my life. Octopus looks very interesting. That's a beautiful cup and handle on the 1 hour time frame. 4 hour also looks like it's going to make a nice move to the upside. It's got a little bit of hidden bullish there too. And if you pull a Fibonacci, it's pretty interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing makes gains without hitting the stop below 40 cents. And that's a 7-to-1 risk reward ratio. You could even go here and it's still a 3-to-1. So this is Octopus coin and it looks interesting to me. Oct. That's a cup and handle. And again, you could do the 7-to-1. That's why, like, a stop loss is up to the person, really. Where do you see fit? Where do you see the risk? Where do you take that risk? All right. WEMIX has been a hot coin that I wouldn't be surprised does numbers too. Look, they're all kind of cup and handling. You see this? Had this beautiful bounce, resistance, bounce. I don't own any WEMIX at all. I just want to make that clear. I wouldn't be surprised if once it gets look for it to get above the 200 SMA on the 1 minute. There's an inverted head and shoulder kind of there. Manta's been hot. Mantle. This coin has been used in liquid restaking. And I wouldn't be surprised if it uses this platform here, this little spot, to get a punch back to the upside. If Bitcoin can hold and maintain some levels and we don't see a nasty drop, as long as we just go sideways or even a little upward movement, these coins are going to rip pretty nicely. I wouldn't be surprised if Manta heads up to 175. All right. I would keep Manta on the radar. See a coin, an oldie but goodie, man. I always remember this puppy. Someone asked about Aurora the other day. Not too good. Opal hot, just continues to rip. I put Opal in that cup and handle way back when. Look at that thing. Gone. Trader Joe XYZ, I talked about it. I gave you guys the chart when it was right there at 57. Kind of double topping, doing some lackluster. Let's take a look at AVAX. Is it AVAX falling? And they're going to follow Bitcoin because they're, big blue chip coins are going to follow Bitcoin. I like AVAX. So, like, AVAX pumped up. Now it's in a bull flag. Telling me we're just going to go sideways a little longer. Then AVAX is going to make a pretty big move of 48%. So I'm very bullish on what I see happening for AVAX. And yeah, I see AVAX doing numbers. If anything, and again, what I like about AVAX is it's not a stable coin, but it's been pretty solid. You got in at 42, it made the pump. Bitcoin did all this craziness, and it's like if you got in at 53, you haven't lost money in literally 10 days. It's been sideways consolidating for 10 days. It's getting ready for its next move for sure. You can see it. AVAX is about to do a gain, 50%. I'd say in 2 weeks tops, this thing has to eventually break out. It can only go sideways for so long. And again, if Bitcoin tanks, maybe AVAX will tank and it'll go back to 50 or retest. Anything is possible. It's doing many days in the same price range. That tells you something. It's like marinating chicken. You know what I mean? It's marinating. Like, it's been sitting there for so long. It's time to eat, baby. It's about to pump. Right? You can feel my laid back vibe today. I'm just a little more down, Shout out to the 1,391 people here. I'm not down at all. I'm super happy. My life is going so well. I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night. I'm a little foggy today. I'm just foggy. I can feel it. I can feel the fog. Now you got to spell out VELODROME because you got another coin called Velo, and you get them confused. All right. So we talked about it breaking out. I thought we'd get more of a flag, and then it broke out, came back down again pretty fast. So this is just it's following Bitcoin. Like, you know, if Bitcoin can stay inside this flag, this will too. If Bitcoin dumps, this will dump, right? Again, if Bitcoin just goes sideways, this should just take off too as well. I see VELODROME doing numbers. I got into AERO when it was 39 cents, right? Just about to do the number. Let's take a look at the difference between market caps in Velo and AERO, all right? Because we can kind of do a back test of what happened here. We take a look at Aerodrome Finance at 143. Getting a little sell-off on that 196 area. It was just up so big, right? Went to a high of $2, honestly. And we were getting at 39 cents, so pretty awesome move, right? So it now has a $225 million market cap. Very small. How this doesn't get to $1 billion, $2 billion, I think it's in 10x very simply to $14. Very, very simply. It's on the base protocol too, and base is hot right now. I told everyone that's why I had exposure to it, because you had to have exposure to base. Now we take a look at Velo. Sorry, the wrong one. We want VELODROME. So it's got a $171 million market cap, about the same. So they kind of easy 20x now, they're just a short term. Right in the heart of the action based on optimism. Well, absolutely fly. The supply is $500 million. Should be $5 to $10 at least. I agree with what he's saying, and I think Velo is going to be hot. I don't own any Velo right now because I'm kind of AERO'd out. I'm all on AERO. Bitcoin back at 69,900. Flipping out. Not able to hold key levels. And again, you could feel kind of like the lackluster, kind of quiet, right? Lack of volume, travel day. There's something in the air, right? Just how it is. I've been through many of these. Holiday days, holiday weekends. You know, it's a holiday for trading. The markets are closed. All right. So it is what it is. We'll still find some altcoins that are going to bump. You know that. Because altcoins just don't care. But we take it one step at a time. All right. 69,008 now. I'm starting to see 800 for Bitcoin. And again, the signal that I give you, if you listen to me and you learn. Again, I may not have, like today, I didn't feel like trading. So you're like, oh, I'm not trading because he's not trading. But again, that was a beautiful signal to the downside. And then you kind of just made this like bear flag. That wants to continue to the downside as well. So we'll see. But I like what I'm seeing here for Bitcoin. It's interesting. I mean, I don't like what I'm seeing, but that look, you know, the chart is playing out the way it is supposed to. So losing the 200 is a short immediately on the 1 minute. I teach my students this all the time. Right there was perfect. Right there was perfect. Did I make the trade? No, I did not. Why? I don't feel like trading today. All right. Period. I mean, I'm still in huge trades. I'm spot trading, swing trading. I just don't feel like actively being in and out of the charts. I really like this coin, HAKA, A Tribe Called One. I got into it like 2 years ago. HAKA, right? Look at this giant consolidation. Look at this giant inverted head and shoulder. Nothing saying it's guaranteed to move, but I mean, it's crazy how all these coins made their way back to MEXC eventually. Pretty awesome. So look at that, 148% gains coming out of HAKA. This is hot. And I just kind of saw this. So again, there's coins to DCA. There's opportunity right now while everyone's kind of bugging out a little bit or not paying attention. Don't get caught up in the sauce of the small time frames. Don't get caught up in the sauce. Have a big picture idea for where we're headed in the next 6-7 months. Begin to build. That's what I do. I'm not a financial advisor, but that's what I'm doing. I'm always looking into the future and building. I'm building my future every day. Every day that I'm here, I'm building and building and building. I'm adding to my idea. I'm adding to where we're going. Shout out to the 1,429 people, 600 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. 1,000 likes, baby. If I came to your house, you know I'd hit that like button. You know I show up. All right? Blessings on blessings for you for showing up today and supporting me. That's good karma. You're helping a small business owner who's doing it by himself, you know, grinding. I really, really appreciate it. It means the world to me. All right. So remember, dog was hot last night. And then the based AI. Now, do we do wormhole? Remember, we looked at it last night. Somewhere here, it just looks like it continued to go up a little more. Right? It was like 8 hours ago, really. $180 million market cap. It first was just 2 cents, though. 0.2 of a cent. And it went to basically did a beautiful 7x there, 4x. But if I got really low. Let's take a look at Brett. Brett seems to have a little bit of a movement here on base. So Brett getting a huge pump to the upside, man. That's awesome. So awesome. Look at that. Brett making some gains. There you go. And we started getting into Brett. I'm excited. I got my Brett. Where's my Brett? ¿Dónde está mi Brett? ¿Dónde está mi Brett? Mi Brett está aquí. You know, you have to go to your right wallet. All right. And then you have to move to the base protocol or you won't see your Brett. I'm pretty sure. There's my Brett. There's my normie. Pretty sure I had more Brett than that, but we'll see. There's my Brett. There's my normie. Both up. My roost is down. Let's go to that billion. Look, 530 Bob. Brett is continuing to grow. And Brett is up huge. And it defied a head and shoulder pattern. That's where I got in right there, even though we were at the head and shoulder pattern. 179% gains for Brett if you gumped in when I got in. Again, anyone who's active in the market right now and just active, there's a lot of rewards for that type of behavior. Okay. Token metrics, Gala, StrikeX, Commune AI, and Sol Casino. Something you may want to have on your radar. Sol Casino token. All right. Nice little pullback for Sol Casino token. Right. Interesting. And there, Bitcoin did fall further to the downside. Now you're looking for some bullish divergence on the 1 minute. You're looking for a swing up on the RSI while price action swings down. You're looking for this to make an inverted head and shoulder to reverse. You're looking for some way out of this by making an ascending triangle. And maybe a bounce off the right shoulder too as well. Right? Wow, it reset that fast on the 5. It's interesting. Okay, moving forward. LimeWire, man. I was talking about LimeWire way back when. Back down here. That's when I first put out LimeWire at 47 cents. This thing is guan. Guan, man, guan. Guan, bro, guan. But it's absolutely, it's flying, right? Look at this thing. Insanity. LimeWire. Remember we used to use this back in the, remember LimeWire when we were kids? Length of the pole, and that thing just did damage in 2 days. Up from 67 cents to 139 in 2 days. Unbelievable. Pretty crazy what I'm seeing here for LMWR, right? LimeWire. I like Optimus. It's at the 886 now, playing around, but I wouldn't be surprised if it eventually gets its move back. So remember, I gave you prop base, and we went over the idea that this thing may continue to the upside here on the smaller time frame. I gave you this inverted head and shoulder, and prop base just continued. I first gave you props out of the cup and handle, right? It ripped. So let me show you when I first put out props. So props now up 200% from when I gave you the exact entry on the cup and handle. So crazy, see that? And I saw this flag in an inverted head and shoulder there that may continue to the upside. on the 26th, just 3 days ago. I first put it out on the 23rd, right out of this. I don't even know what time frame. Hold on, what time frame was I on? The 12 hour. Let me see the 12 hour. Yeah, so I put out this cup with that handle, and it was gone. This thing was just sitting at 4 cents. I went to a high of 24, did a 6x in literally 7 days, an X a day. It continues to pump. Honestly, these real world asset coins are on like another type of tear. If anything's going to pump today, it's going to be this coin again. And I know it's high risk at this point. And I can see a lot of people jump in and then it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Anything could happen. But if Bitcoin could go somewhat sideways, not continue to dump too bad. 69,800 for Bitcoin though. Starting to get flushed a little bit. Starting to get flushed a little bit now for BTC. All right. And that trade played out perfectly the way I teach you on the 1 minute. All you had to know was how to short the 200 moving average on the 1 minute time frame. And you were in the money right now. I even showed you that we could likely head further down unless we decided to stop with this bullish div. The bullish div didn't do anything for us. Pretty whack trading day. And to me, it's just Grayscale selling off while they have a chance because they know there's less people paying attention to the market. It really just extends the bullish div though, making it almost a little stronger. You want to revisit, you want to get back above this 200 SMA on the 1 minute as soon as humanly possible. 69,070. We still got more liquidity below us too. A lot of red below us. Says we go all the way to 68.5 possibly and start testing those levels that I talked about for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's starting to fall off a little bit here to the downside. Not amazing. All right, and that's why I take it every step, every day, every step of the way, one step at a time. Now you're getting a bearish engulfing candle on the daily. I would not want to see the daily close below these two levels there at 69,153. Still have time for it to reverse right back to the upside. Getting oversold there on the 15. Very oversold. You would expect some type of bounce. Bit of a double bottom there on the 15-minute time frame. So there we have it. We opened up with an idea for a long. And again, the long's still intact until... One thing I do see that I don't like, though, this kind of resembles a shoulder. That resembles a head. That's a right shoulder. I could see that breaking down. The neckline to the head here, right? And then you're sitting at 67.5. So just be careful. We could definitely see a dump there. You got to get a bounce soon. You got to get back above the point of control and go sideways in there for this pattern to play out. 69,870, Bitcoin getting a bit of a bounce here back to the upside for BTC. If you want to jump in where we trade, Mexi.com, 0.1 spot maker taker fees, 0 future fees. If it's applicable in your area, I would jump on in as soon as possible. SH is now live trading on spot. Let's take a look. Just got live. If you hold 1,000 Mexi tokens, you pay zero. You'll basically pay 0 fees. They'll cut off the fees, or they'll cut them in half, which turns them into 0, right? I believe you'll turn 0.1 to 0. Yeah. All right, let's take a look at SHX, which just came out. People were asking about it last night. So this is what happens when a coin first comes up. It always does this huge move up. Then it kind of will flatten out, and you can start buying, or it's just like... So new coins is on Mexi. You're basically, you're taking a shot. You don't know what really is going to happen. You're just taking a shot. So, dear Lord, thank you for all the beautiful people you sent to my live. 1,400 awesome people, 666 likes. That is amazing. What a blessing it is to be alive. Thank you so much for what you've given me, dear Lord. I appreciate it more than you would ever know. And gratitude is my attitude at every single step of the way. Every single moment I have, I want to find gratitude in that moment because I know there's gratitude to be had. I'm so grateful I had a wonderful mother and father that produced such a good life for me. Gave me so much love, and is still helping me in many ways to this day, man. I love my parents. Blessings. Talked about AITECH. I love to see it getting a bounce from 24 back up to 30. AITECH in the mix there, and it's been getting some love. And it just broke out, and now it's attempting to get back above the 200 SMA. AITECH looks like it wants to make a big run back to 72 cents. This is a premier hot coin. I got into it. I got a big old bag of AITECH. I'm excited to see where it can go. I'm excited that I got into it. It was a pivot of mine in the last month and a half. I was able to find this coin, make massive gains swing trading it, then take those gains and put them into a massive long position and get myself situated for the bull run. I'm super excited for this AITECH coin. I like it. I'm behind it. And again, it could go to zero. Anything is possible. I'm speculating, right? There's no guarantees I'm going to make money on this coin, but I'm taking a shot. You know, 100% of the shots I don't take never hit. I got to take a shot to see if I can hit, right? I believe dollar cost averaging into CASPA is a very good thing right now. Again, I hold it, so I'd love to see that, but I like these areas for CASPA above the 200 and the 22, near that Fibonacci level, getting ready for the low, the high, the higher low. CASPA looking good to me. I could see CASPA head into 33 somewhere by July. It will take its time. Might not be as fast, but I definitely see it happening. What happened to NAKA? NAKA got a nasty sell-off. Did they unlock tokens? Something happened here. NAKA got a beatdown. All right. At the end of the day, it still has this trend line forming. We'd like to see it bounce. If Bitcoin tanks, though, it's funny. It's like this isn't a precarious situation where if Bitcoin moves down, this is going to move down pretty bad. So massive dump for Bitcoin right now to the downside. And again, the 200, losing the 200 on the 1 minute was the signal. Again, so many times I can't tell you if we're going to dump, but when we lose the 200, it tells us that's what's going to happen. And that's exactly what happens. This is a massive sell. They're taking advantage of the lack of the markets being open, people not being around. And I think it's just Grayscale is selling off, personally. We don't have anyone to buy in right now, right, to complete that sell-off pressure. So they're going to take advantage. Look at that. Nasty drop. We just lost this move. Now you know we're going to move down to 68,500 for Bitcoin. Now I wish I took the short personally because it looked like it was going to pay really well. But again, it's okay. I really didn't feel like trading today. Like I don't want to be in a trade right at the end of the stream today. I personally don't. I need my brain to rest. I need to give my brain 6-7 hours of just time off the market. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean I'm not going to scan the market. Doesn't mean I'm not going to look for coins. But and even so, I work 7 days a week. You would want me to take some time from my brain so I can produce the most for you. All right? I am a human being. I'm not an AI bot. At one point, I am going to have to, take a moment to breathe. I don't take days off, but I may take an hour or two. The bearish divergence is here. It's still the bullish divergence is here, but it's not doing a dang thing for us. It's an interesting little dump. I didn't expect it, I'll be honest, at all. But again, if you came to the live, the second we lost the 200, you knew that I had to change my tune. I don't care how long I want to be. And wow, this is a pretty nasty sell-off now at this point. Like from this top here at 715. That was the short, perfect short at 715. You're in the money now. Dang, man. Yep. It's one of those days, baby. Blood. A bloody day. It's a good day to buy some Bitcoin. But now look, there's no bullish div at all because now this is low. It's manipulation sell-off by Grayscale 100%, in my humble opinion. Now I just flagged these out like the 30-second. I wouldn't be surprised if we bounce right back, but looks like we're going to continue down to 68,500 for Bitcoin. Retest that previous all-time high, right? Alex Labs, we talked about it. Thing was so hot last night in the live, right? And then just continued to rip. We went over the fact that this thing was going to break out. I put it out to the trading group before it happened. I've been all over this thing. Gains. The BRC, it's funny, Bitcoin's struggling because Grayscale's selling off, but it doesn't have anything to do with Bitcoin and the ecosystem. Like, it doesn't make any sense, right? Just so weird. But I'm nice seeing a lot of my bags jumping back today. Pretty strong. All right. Okay, just looking at some positions that I'm in. 9 to 14. Interesting. 69.4 with a bounce back to the upside here for Bitcoin. All right. And I emptied my tether last night. I got no tether to buy Bitcoin right now at the present moment in time. I have some in another account, but babe, we should buy a little more Bitcoin right now. Anything under 70K to me is like a steal, you know, with the other account. So funny. EtherFi staking, making gains on EtherFi staking. Amazing. Bitcoin back at 69,300. All right. I see it going lower until we get back above a key level. So, any thoughts on Zeta Chain? I answered that. Stayed up till 2 a.m. last night. Pumped for the awesome screen share. God bless you, man. Appreciate that. ChatGPT on Solana. There's Soul Chat too, which I thought was going to be hot. Look, all the coins take a beat down when Bitcoin takes a beat down. This thing ripped. It's coming back down. Interesting. I tell you what, it's so weird for me, right? I'm exhausted. I should have just, don't tell everyone you're exhausted. Keep up the energy, Sam. Keep it going. But today is a day where I'm just like I could fall asleep on this mic right now. Oh my God, I'm live. Kong, only 2 weeks old. We'll take a look at Kong for you there on AVAX. I remember I was in that Kimbo. You were in that Kong. Came tight. It consolidated very tight. Look, it's a long consolidation. It tells us that it can make a big move, though, eventually. It's a really nice consolidation, right? Like we haven't seen, and not many, a lot of meme coins come down, come up. Like they don't do this. This is different, interesting. It's a little different. Looks like it's got like more people kind of holding it. $6-7 million market cap, still very small though. Look at my buddy Kimbo here. Now Kimbo ripped though. I personally have some Kimbo. I'm waiting for it to come back down to this Fibonacci level here, but I like what I'm seeing for Kimbo. $30 million market cap. It outperformed Kong. I bought them. It came out around the same time. This had a bigger market cap than Kong, right? So. Buy your tickets today. I just want to see what event this is. The Global Blockchain Show, April 16th in Dubai. It's going to be a pretty big deal. They're going to have Sophia the robot there, which is going to be kind of crazy. Lennox from Layer AI, the chief commercial officer. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I remember we got Bitcoin. It's Bitcoin Miami, but I don't know why they moved Bitcoin out of Bitcoin Miami. I think that's a foolish decision, but it's going to be Bitcoin Nashville this year, late July. You'll catch me there. I'm definitely going to be in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be my next big event because my wife is pregnant. Otherwise, I would have done Consensus and all the other things that I did last year, but I just, I got to be around for the family. I had to cook dinner last night, got to bring my kids places and just, be a dad. So, ChatGPT on Solana, somebody said. Or CatGPT, that's ridiculous. It's got a $31,000 market cap. I'm out. 319. I'm done. I mean, if you got, again, you may be getting into a very early price action. I don't know. That's up to you. Like, I don't know, right? I can't condone or add to that idea. You do whatever makes you happy. I will tell you what is likely going to make a move is this Tectum. Just getting so tight. The tighter you get, the more explosive the move comes. However, it is starting to play games there with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin continues to dump, let's take a look at our, 69,300 for Bitcoin. And we kind of fall to the downside. I did give you the signal once we lost the 1 minute 200 SMA. I teach this every single day. So if I didn't teach it every day, you could be like, he didn't give us the signal. He just said out of nowhere that yellow line. But if you know my history and you know that's what I do, then you're going to be like, oh, this guy, that's what he says every single day. And that's exactly what happened again today. Spot on yet again. I like Tectum. I would be watching TET very, very closely. A lot of coins still got a lot of potential right now. Super excited to see where they could go. JASMY's another one. I own JASMY right now, seeing where it could go. Could have double top and make a further move down and then may have to do falling wedges or something. It's a chance. The daily does suggest you dump. All right. Daily doesn't look amazing. The 4 hour also may be losing the 200 for JASMY. And JASMY, if JASMY loses the 200 there, so you really want to bounce for JASMY, or it may actually come back down and test 1.5 before you get in again. All right. Shout out to the chat. How's everybody doing here in the chat? I appreciate each and every one of you. Why no Powell stream? I mean, he talked at 11:15, right? Is he still talking? He's just sitting there with like it's just, I'll bring it down.
This is not a question about fiscal policy. It's a question about what the Fed will do if our current fiscal path, which many have called unsustainable, including...
Look at this guy's socks. Like, are you serious?
In the interregnum. What do you do if our fiscal
path... Why do grown men cross their legs like women now?
Fed,
you know what I mean?
Have to think about.
I don't like when...
We're always going to...
I don't know.
Do what we need
to me, that's feminine. I don't know. That's just me. You call me conservative, but I find that feminine, man.
And that means maximum employment and price stability.
I can't even cross my legs like that. My thighs are too thick and too big, you know?
Raise rates.
It's true.
We're never doing
facts.
That. We're always going to use our tools, and we're always going to assume that the fiscal authorities...
Like, doesn't he have a setup? Like, they get squished when I do that. Not to be rude to the ladies, but it just, it's uncomfortable. If you squat and you have like a big set, like, you can't sit like that, you know?
Greenspan said before him, is we're not on a sustainable fiscal path. That's an uncontroversial statement. And the sooner we get on that path, the better. Back on that path.
100%.
A word here about the balance sheet. You said you're going to slow the runoff.
Oops, sorry. It's too loud. See, that's the one thing. I can never seem to get the mix right on that.
Does it suggest a worry about the economy that you're going to slow the runoff of the balance sheet?
Not at all. So we published the thing about the balance sheet is we want to be highly transparent and predictable. It's not the main story about monetary policy. The main story is interest rates. What happens is when we get into a very difficult situation like the pandemic or the global financial crisis, we buy treasuries to lower interest rates and to support the economy. And then we're left with a bigger balance sheet, and we start to then, when the time is right, let it run off and shrink back to where it needs to be. So that's what we're doing. And what we said was at a certain point, we would slow the pace. And the reason is, it's moving down quickly. We've decreased the size of the securities portfolio by $1.5 trillion over the course of the last year and a half, not even year and a half. And so we've said that we would slow the pace. And what we're trying to do there is try to actually get further without being disruptive. The last tightening cycle for the balance sheet ended when we suddenly found ourselves that we'd gone too far. And it was very disruptive to markets, and we had to buy treasuries to create more reserves in the economy. So this time we tried to learn from our first experience with shrinking the balance sheet, and this time we said we would slow at a certain point. But we're going to get to the same point or even lower than we would have, and it's not at all in any way related to a concern about the economy. It's our plan.
On that word transparency, which you've mentioned a couple of times. And on your policy and your predecessor's policy and
nice
those
suit.
Of the committee,
I'll give him that.
The board
nice
of governors of transparency and giving forward guidance and letting everybody
socks though, come on,
know
man.
what you're thinking and what your plan is.
Just put some blue socks.
Why?
The old school was tell them nothing. You know,
who took their watch off too? Why?
And then a bunch of scholars 40 years ago, people like Alan Blinder and others, thought about it and said, you know, if the public understood your reaction function, the way you would react to different kinds of data, then that'll make your job easier because markets they'll go, oh, I see.
Dude, start telling them about the Federal Reserve and get real.
Let's say that some data comes in hot.
Like, say what I said today for once. Be real.
X,
like, you know.
So we'll react.
They're not going to do that.
So in effect, the markets and the public will understand what you're doing is a good thing. And that was very novel. So the path went from tell them nothing. The Fed didn't even announce what it did at an FOMC meeting until 1994. The first post-meeting statement that's saying, hey, we raised rates, or we didn't, was 1994. So from there, you have a straight line.
Oh, you decided to tell the public something.
Increasing transparency to the point where you are now, where you see a lot of transparency. Some people say it's too much, but that's the idea. And I think you've gotten to a place where we try to be so clear in what we're doing that the public will understand what we're doing and why, and that actually helps our policy be more effective.
Humor me. What happens if well, everybody's anticipating a cut in June, but what happens if you guys out of nowhere came out and at 11 o'clock Pacific time, I know it's different for all of you in different time zones, the statement came out and said, we cut 25 basis points today without having given anybody a heads up. What do you think happens?
Nothing good. I mean, I think we would.
Seriously?
Well, what would happen?
Everybody goes, yay, rate cut.
No, but we would, look, we are careful, thoughtful, we're steady hand. If we did things like that, it would be very much not the way we do business.
No, it wouldn't, but play it out for me. What do you suppose happens? Seriously, humor me.
I think if we did something like that, markets would say, we thought we understood the Fed. We've spent years. Someone would go on TV and said, I've spent 30 years watching the Fed and I don't understand this at all. Why'd they do it? In other words, doing an off-cycle rate cut, like at a time like that, it's just something that would never happen. I mean, if there were a reason. So we when the pandemic hit,
those we all know.
We did two off-cycle meetings in one cycle, and then we canceled the actual meeting. So
and look what happened then.
Well, no, that was
we had a pandemic.
That was what needed to happen. That was what needed to happen.
Do you worry that the Fed gets covered too much, especially now when we're all trying to parse your every word? Gets covered too much like a horse race kind of? There's a little bit of who's in front? Polls say this. What are they going to do?
Yeah, I do worry about that. I think that the things that really matter.
Don't use worry. Worry is a fake word. Get rid of that word.
Not the Fed's interest rate.
Anyone who uses that word wouldn't work for me. I got to get them out of that idea.
Say that again. Seriously, say it for the cameras.
No, okay. The things that matter for the United States economy over the medium and longer term are not the decision the Fed makes.
100%.
The Fed tries to guide the economy to maximum employment and price stability through a business cycle.
You keep printing money, he can't do a damn thing.
Things during crises.
That's what he's saying.
Were very, very important in crises.
Finally, he's saying something real.
Things that add to the productive capacity of the United States. Things that give people more skills so they can contribute more to the economy. Things that increase productivity so that an hour's work is worth more output. That's the evolution of technology. It's also the skills that people have. Those things, investing in those things, that's what drives the longer run growth and the longer run economic well-being of our citizens, not the things that the Fed does. What we do is very important in maintaining stability and smoothing out the business cycle and also crisis response, but we don't work on those really far more important longer run issues.
Apologies to those of you on the live stream and who are going to hear this later on the radio. Is Professor Swanson in the room? Sir, I'm sorry, I'm going to steal your thunder. There's a panel coming up this afternoon, sir, at 1:25, the title of which is Speeches by the Fed Chair Are More Important Than FOMC Announcements, an improved high-frequency measure of U.S. monetary policy shocks by Professor Swanson at the University of California, Irvine, and some others.
100%.
Agree or disagree?
Yeah, when he's talking, the market's whipping.
Pass. No, I look forward to. I saw that on the agenda. I look forward to. I'm not going to come in here and embarrass you by being here, but I will read the paper.
But to that general point, do you get too much press?
It's not for me to say, but I do think
it is for you to say. It's literally for you to say.
I absolutely think there's too much focus. If you think about the things that are really important in the economy, things like trade and what we should be doing, some of the things that we're doing that the administration has done, they're far more important over the medium and longer term than monetary policy is. Although it's important that it's important there be a Fed that has a good framework of monetary policy that's well understood. Very important that we do our job, but don't get me wrong, it is important, but absolutely the other things are more important over a long period of time for the people we all serve.
Around the last time you and I spoke in 2022, I also talked to Chair Bernanke about his book, and I asked him whether you two ever talk on the phone, and he said, yeah, he calls me every now and then, mostly he imagines as a courtesy to him. And I said, well, Jay Powell's a good guy, he probably just calls you. And he said, when Jay was new to the Fed, he used to come down to my office on a Saturday morning with another governor or two, and we were just talking about monetary policy as he was trying to learn. And I guess my question is, do people come to you now?
Oh, well, they don't necessarily. I don't go to the office on Saturday anymore. But Ben used to. Ben was in the office on Saturday, and when I was a new governor, so was I. So, and I took the advantage of the fact that he was there in his office, and we could chat. It's a much more relaxed way. I talk to people. I work at home now on the weekends, and I talk to all kinds of people all weekend long. Yeah.
Who do you go to though for counsel?
Well, I talk to my colleagues on the FOMC. I talk to senior staff. I talk to the formers. I talk to both, Janet is now Treasury Secretary, so that's a different thing. But I check in with Ben. I check in with other former Fed people. I can't, you can't.
Ben Bernanke?
You can't get. The group of people that you can really talk to is pretty small.
Gosh.
But I do take advantage of that. Why wouldn't I?
Back to Kashkari for a minute and the interview I did with him. Well, explain that.
What?
A little chuckle.
You said back to Kashkari.
Well, Neil's an interesting guy. One of the things we were talking about was consensus. I mentioned that before. Do you worry about groupthink around the table? Talk to me about the strength of the conversations, I guess. That's the question.
So this
the
is
robustness of the debate.
This is a virtue of our federated system. So we have 12 reserve banks. Each reserve bank has its own economic staff, and they have traditions, some that they follow or don't follow. But in any case, you sort of have a guaranteed institutional diversity of perspectives. Institutionally guaranteed diversity of perspectives. People come in and they're going to have different views, and I think that's absolutely critical. And I do think the fact that we were able to get a unanimous decision on something doesn't mean there weren't different views. Also, remember, before the vote, there's a lot of discussion that goes on to try to arrive at a plan that people can get behind. So it's not, that also tends to minimize.
Sorry,
Grayscale's smoking us right now because of the low volume.
Before you guys get in the room on the Tuesdays and Wednesdays?
Taking advantage of this low volume.
Yes, you do a lot
to on us.
Of course, my part of my job is to know what people think and
good time to
the
DCA into altcoins for
really
sure. Great opportunity in my humble opinion. Still opportunity today.
That's part of the thing.
100%.
But we do have different perspectives, and that's really healthy. I was an investor for quite a while, and when everyone agrees that something is a great investment, you got to really worry. You want somebody who's really smart to explain why it's not, so that you can go through the process of hearing the case against. And I think it's really helpful to hear different views so that you can sort of test your own perspective. If everybody agrees that it can be kind of flabby, it hasn't really been tested.
Mary Daly in the introduction was talking about your special talent, that you're a listener, you're a consensus builder. What is your special talent? Why do you think you have this job?
Why do I have this job?
Don't ask me, man.
It's when I got to the Fed in 2012, of course I had no idea what was to come. I will say what I try to do on listening is
get rid of that word, guys. Don't use that word.
I think if you
listen to people, don't try to do things. Do them.
Hearing them.
Do them.
And not just kind of explain.
You want to be an exceptional person. Don't use that word.
And they get that, and they feel listened to and heard from. For most people, most of the time, that's going to be enough for them to go along, even if they don't like a decision. It builds relationships. So I spent a great deal of time with
340
oversight committees and beyond that on Capitol Hill, and more so than my predecessors. And I think they see the Fed as, I want them to see the Fed as what it is, which is this non-political agency that doesn't run talking points at them and isn't political and is just doing our work and staying out of the political issues. And I'm in their offices listening to what they say, and I think they really appreciate that.
Yeah, but do you think it's working?
What?
Your effort to get them not to see you as a political agency and just doing the best by the American
people. Much better than you would think. I mean, I think there's a certain amount of low noise on that subject, but if you talk to people privately, I think that has an independent Fed has very broad support in both parties on both sides of the Hill.
I'll appreciate you're going to want to be discreet on this question, but what's running through your head when you're at the green table in front of a Senate or a House committee?
I'm trying to
Like your internal monologue.
listen hard to find to get the question, and sometimes the questions are more like speeches, and or they're not really questions, or they're not quite the right question, and so I try to find the good question and give the good answer to that question. Also, respect. We in our system of government, they are our oversight, and our democratic legitimacy runs right through transparency.
I'd be buying
right
Bitcoin
through
right now.
their
I'd be buying every
their
coin on the
actions
dip.
of holding us accountable and being explaining to them what we're doing and why. So we answer any and all questions that they may have, and so I work hard to get ready for those with a lot of help from people, and we take them very seriously.
Banking regulation. New regulations are in the works. Banks are not happy about it from, excuse me, from Wall Street down to community bankers that I talk to. What's your confidence level about, first of all, about the banking system right now?
Why is his watch off?
And then about the need for more regulation. Can you fix what you think is wrong?
Sure. So I would say the banking system is in a good place now. A little over a year ago, we had a period of stress.
Shout out to the chef. Thank you for joining the group, man. I can't wait to help you out. Blessings on
blessings. Thanks for lending. I think we focused a lot of attention during that period and since on banks that had things like CRE, commercial real estate losses, or perhaps funding structures that needed to be supported more. And we work with a ton of banks to address those issues. And so I think the banking system is definitely in a good place. I think the commercial real estate problem will be with us for some years, but it is just a question that some banks, and it's mostly small banks, it's definitely not the very large banks, have concentrations of commercial real estate, and it looks like they will be realizing losses over time. And we're working with them to make sure they have enough capital, that they do understand the losses, and so that they can work through this. And so that's what we're doing. And again, that process will play out, and I think that'll be okay.
I talk to a community banker every now and then up in Seattle, and she basically, I think I don't want to put words in her mouth, but I will. I don't think she would characterize it as working with. I think she would characterize it as the Fed's telling us what to do. And I guess I wonder what your response is to that.
Well, supervisors, we have a job, which is to make sure that banks understand and can manage their risks. And, it can be either of those things. It can sometimes, certainly supervisors have to at some point say, you got to do this. And that's one of the lessons of the Silicon Valley Bank situation was a need to be forceful when it's appropriate.
Whoa.
Sorry, let me dig in on that.
What's weird is he could be forceful, but he's not a government entity.
Forceful is one thing.
He's a private.
Well, let me phrase it a different way.
The Federal Reserve is private. You know that, right?
Do you need to convince the banks that you're working with them?
It's just like Federal Express. Federal Express isn't a government. They're called the Federal Express. They're a private company.
I've never worked as a bank supervisor, so what I believe is this: bank supervision can tend to be pretty process oriented, and there's a playbook, there's a checklist. And that's a good thing, because you want the banks, it wants to be transparent so that they know what's expected, so they can do what's expected. But it can also be slow when it needs to be fast. And so the art of it, and there's definitely an element of art in this thing. And some people are just very, very good at it, and others less so. But you can see the art of it, though, is for them banks to understand. Generally, banks, banking is different from many other industries. It is a heavily regulated and supervised industry, and they, particularly
69.490, trying to get back above 69.5. As long as they don't break 68.8, I'm fine.
Daily
68.5, I'm fine.
Interactions with their regulators and supervisors. What's important is that the banks are well capitalized, that they understand their risks and they can manage them, that they have adequate liquidity, that they have good resolution plans, and our job is to make sure that that's the case. The more the banks take that on themselves and do a great job at it without us pushing them, the less we need to push.
The international situation. The United States is doing better than every developed economy, I believe, in the world by a good measure. What do you make of that, and how does it affect your decision making?
So I do, do a fair amount of my job is going to these international meetings, either in Basel or whoever's running the G7 or the G20 in a given year. And that is what people are talking about, is the sort of exceptionalism right now of the U.S. economy, how strong the U.S. economy is, and there's no question that we are performing very well. I think part of it just is, productivity is a key thing. The Europeans are very focused right now on not just their short-term low productivity, but what can they do to have greater productivity growth over time? This is a big focus for the European economic officials at the highest level. Mario Draghi is doing a report on it, and the finance ministers that I talk to from the big countries, this is their focus. And so it's tremendously important. And so people are thinking about what can we do? Some of the things they're looking at doing sound like the United States, like having a flexible labor market and having a very active financial sector that can fund early stage or small companies well. So it's very important. And so yeah, the U.S. is doing the performance of the U.S. economy in the last year or so has been quite strong.
Does that affect how you do your job?
Yes, it does.
Discuss.
Well,
seriously?
Early.
Oh man.
I know. It goes fast when you're having a good time.
My job is to hit a time post, and I can't even do that.
Well, apparently not.
Sure.
No, but I'm your helper. I am on stage, ready to help you.
Sorry,
so,
Mary.
Chair Powell, I'll turn it back to you.
as I mentioned earlier, the fact that the U.S. economy is growing at such a solid pace, the fact that the labor market is, still very, very strong, gives us the chance to just be a little more confident about inflation coming down before we take the important step of cutting rates. And so we're not going to take that step until we are confident. We don't think it'll be appropriate to do so, I should say. But that's the way it plays into what we're doing.
Over to you, boss.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. It was a terrific conversation. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So it was a nothing burger, everybody. Not much really there.
Thanks, Mary.
Right. But, and you can see kind of Bitcoin struggling again. Let's take a look at Bitcoin as we get out of here for the day. Kind of an interesting day, right? Kind of market's flat. Well, we did get more viewers here during that. Went up to 1,600, so I love that. All right, let's just let me do my sauce for Bitcoin. We'll look at like the MEXI chart here, and we'll just look at it fresh. We'll do a fresh look up, give you everything I can give you, and then I'm going to take a moment off of the chart. So, okay, where do we stand yet again? Remember, we start with the weekly every time, all right? That's just kind of how I always begin things. And, not the 10-day chart, right? And we take a look at this, okay? Now, we look at the weekly, all right, very closely. So as long as we stay above 65.5, I'm good to go. I've said that many, many times. Again, we also have this key level here that we've bounced off of at 67,200. Unless we lose that, we're bullish too. And we're still going to close a weekly candle higher than any weekly candle ever closed, as long as we close above 68,900. We're getting close to not having that happen and falling below a resistance and wicking down. Really want to see this weekly candle close back above these levels. Right now, it's going to do that. We have 2 days and 8 hours for that to happen. So right now, everything's still looking pretty good on the weekly, right? Nothing to be kind of too crazed about. Thank you for everything, Sammy. Anytime, man. God bless you, brother. Shout out to everybody here. Agreed. It was a badly coordinated show. Remember, everyone, it's all a show. Yeah, right? Super chats, Render, MDA. We talked about Zeta. Render's super high. Turbo's just a high-risk little coin if you want to get into it. It's up to you. And I have to look up MDI. I don't know what it is. All right. Theta's hot. I already have an update for Theta in the trading group. Yeah, so that is what it is. So now the daily is a bearish engulfer. We started the daily looking pretty good. Everything was nice. And we have this daily support at 68,004, 68,005. So, now it's about 68,450 holding, really, this level here, 68,400. We lose that. We test 67.2 the weekly. We lose 67.2. We're talking 67.5 again. And then we're right back to that same old story. Could have a low. You could have a high. You could have a low. That could be a lower high. We really want to see this break out. We want to see the bullish divergence make its move. We have this wedge. Unless you break back inside this pattern, I remain somewhat bullish, and then it gives us to the 4 hour here. That's definitely a double top M pattern now, in my humble opinion, but you could still say that there's a chance you hold. So, This is still in the cards, but it's a little weird now, right? It's a little disheveled. The 1 hour also looks like it wants to dump. Look, the shoulder, head, right shoulder still gives me vibes that we're going to come to this 200. We're going to go to 67.5, maybe even bounce off this lower level. So you desperately right now in the next like hour and a half, the 7 minute and the 15, they have to throw a bounce. Like you have to get a bounce in here and start going more sideways. Chance we're just right back to where we started. Literally 2-3 hours from now, we're at 70,800 and nothing happened. So just be careful getting too bearish today. I'm overall still bullish. Just with the halving coming and institutions coming in, like it just, don't get too inside your head. Still a beautiful move here. To me, it's all about us holding this trend line and holding 68,450. We lose that level, then fine, Again, beautiful short by shorting the 1 minute when it lost the 200 SMA. That was a perfect entry right there. We saw it live. I talked about it. I even said, hey, I'm not going to trade it, but that's likely going to dump. All right. I know it gives you more confidence when I take the trade, but personally, sometimes I just, today is a day where I want to rest my mind. I don't feel like being in a leverage trade. I just don't want to sit at my phone. I don't want to check on it. I want to ease my brain. You know what I mean? You should know when you're overworked, when your brain is overworked, and you should give yourself a moment, give yourself some time to relax, give yourself some time to reset. All right. Super important. Like know yourself, right? Like, look at me. I work 7 days a week. I burn. I'll go 40, 60, 70 days until I get really until one day my mind's just like, it's time, Sam. It's time. Like you need a moment, right? And you got to recalibrate 100%, I like Render right there at what it's doing. I'm not buying Render. It's too big. I think there's way other products that could, but they're better right now. Like Layer AI. I'd rather buy Layer AI than Render. But again, you guys do whatever makes you happy. I'm not forcing anything, right? Anyway, I just want to let you all know I love you. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hit it out the park like we do in the morning. It will be a lackluster weekend. You know what I mean? Don't expect too much craziness. And, yeah. And a lot of people are traveling today. Remember, a lot of people are we're not getting the same amount of action in the markets and everything else. So just be careful. All right. I just mentioned all those super chats. I'm not going to go over them right now. Okay. Yeah. They're just not coins that I'm like super excited about at the moment. And one I don't know anything about. I'd like to do some research before I post it to my group. So if you did send a super chat and I don't do it, just understand that there are reasons sometimes why I may not do a super chat because I'm assessing the situation or thinking about something. Someone asked about Turbo. It pumped, came back down. It's retesting its previous support as resistance. You could say, there's a chance it's on it wicked down to the 786 fib. I'm not a fan of what I'm seeing here with like this weird price action after a dump or whatever. Look for it to get back above a 200 SMA, maybe on the 4 hour there. And once that happens, it could see some bullishness. But yeah. If you're in this coin, congratulations. It's been ripping ever since, but I'm probably not going to touch it. All right, everyone, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing